Alright, welcome back to another video, and today's question: can money buy you speed in cycling? A question that cyclists have asked for millennia, and today we're going to find that out. So this is my girlfriend's bike, a 2009 Avanti Monza, fitted with a 9-speed Shimano Sora group set, Shimano alloy wheels, some strange thumb pressing shifter type thing, some standard Shimano brakes, and all topped off with a cat-eye computer. I would estimate that this bike is only worth between probably $200 and $300 in New Zealand at the moment. And here's my bike, a 2020 Cannondale Super 6 frame, fitted with an 11-speed Ultegra Di2 group set, a Zip carbon sprint stem, Zip bars, 2 carbon bottle cages, a Physique Antares saddle, FSA carbon power meter, absolute black oval chain rings, and topped off with dura-ace C50 tubular carbon wheels. Basically anything that you could hope for on a modern road bike. All up, my bike costs $9,430 if you were to go out and buy everything now, but we're going to put it up to 10 grand just for argument's sake. I didn't have a proper bike scale, so I just did the old trick where you weigh yourself on the scales.
Alright, the first step is we need to weigh myself, so we turn the scale on. So me, with all my clothes on and my shoes, is 75.1 kgs at the moment. Then you just weigh yourself again with the bike. So 85.3 minus 75.1. So the Avanti Monza is 10.2 kgs. Alright, next one is the race bike. I've got the C75s on just to give it a little bit of a better thumbnail. 82.7. 82.7 minus, what was it, 75.1. 7.6 kgs. So there's 2.6 kgs between them, and this is actually a smaller frame. So that's quite a lot of weight. And here are the two weights. So this is the weight of the Avanti Monza, and this is the weight of the Cannondale Super 6. So like quite a considerable difference in weight here, and that's over, I think, an 11-year difference in age. So here's how we're gonna test it. There's a fairly decent climb just down the road from here called the Cape Palliser Road Climb on Strava. It is 1.76 kilometers long with an average gradient of just over 8%. My best time so far is 8 minutes and 10 seconds, but I did that during a training ride, so it was only about 270 watts at the time, I think. My plan is to take both bikes to the climb. I'm gonna ride the Avanti Monza up at first, just to give it a little bit more of a fair chance, and then I'm gonna ride back down, give myself about 10 to 15 minute rest just so I feel completely recovered, and then I'm gonna ride the Cannondale up, and then we're gonna compare both the times and see which one did best. Alright, we've just driven to the bottom of the climb, so we just kind of like looked around on where the Strava actually starts, because there's kind of like 2 summits to the top, but it just goes to the first summit, so 1.76k or something, and it just starts right here by these 100k signs. It kind of just loops up past this bridge and then all the way up, and then sweeps all the way up to the top. I've got the first bike ready for this little challenge. So this is the $200 bike, the Avanti Monza. So I'm gonna go give myself like probably a 5 to 10 minute warm up, just so I don't end up smashing into this climb just completely dry. Alright, so my initial thoughts on the Monza is that you can really feel that extra weight. Obviously it's an alloy frame, not a carbon frame, so you can feel that. And besides that, the position just feels real weird. You see it's got loads of stack up there, really short stem. I just feel like I'm sitting upright like the entire time I'm riding it.
Alright, so my little test is over. And I've uploaded both the rides to Strava, so I'm going to have a look at the results now. The problem that I faced with this test is I had a power meter on my road bike, but I didn't have the same power meter on the Avanti, and I couldn't have switched them over because the bottom brackets are different. And the only way to really do this properly is to be able to, like, I don't know, set myself, hold 330 watts on the road bike and then hold 330 watts on the Monza and go up the exact same wattage, and then I can see the difference. So I'm going on Strava. So the first time I went up on the Monza, I did 7 minutes 10 seconds, and I was feeding it the Jandal as well. I gave it like some pretty decent watts. Obviously I don't know what they are because I didn't have a power meter, but I was giving it the Bakeries anyway. And then with the road bike, I only did 7 minutes and 8 seconds. So literally only 2 seconds. Obviously a little disclaimer, I was fresh on the Monza, and then obviously I had a little bit of a break, but probably not as much of a break before my second time up. I guess that it shows that there's not that much of a difference between spending, I guess, $1,000 on a road bike if you're just getting into the sport, rather than going in and having to spend, I don't know, 5, 6, upwards of $10,000, because you don't really need it. There's not that much of a difference. Like, that is the absolute bottom of the bottom bikes I could have found. Worst group set, heaviest bike, alloy frame, worst wheels, and then I had my bike with like top of the line dura-ace wheels, pretty decent group set, Ultegra Di2, and then a pretty lightweight frame as well. Pretty decent bike that you'll probably see your A or B grade riders riding, and the fact that there was only, I guess there was only 2 seconds in between, but there's not that much of a difference. So if you're getting into the sport, I really don't recommend going and spending $10,000 on your first bike, obviously unless that's what you want to do, because as you can see there's not too much of a difference when you're feeding the Jand up a climb like that. So if you want to see another video like this where I actually do it properly and I put the power meter, I'll probably get some one of those power pedals, and I put the power pedals on both the bikes and then make sure I ride both of them along the flat and then up a hill at the same wattage. Give this video a thumbs up, let me know in the comments, and if you haven't subscribed to this channel, please subscribe to the Cycling Tom channel now.